Welcome to English Story Hub. Learn English through fun stories. Improve vocabulary, listening, and speaking skills. Like, subscribe, and keep learning with us.
Wealth mindset. Jordan Lee grew up in a small apartment above his family's failing corner store. His parents worked tirelessly, yet every month felt like a fight just to survive. Jordan heard the word bills more than he ever heard dreams. He was 17 when he realized one thing that changed him: hard work wasn't enough. Mr. Davis, a retired investor who lived 2 blocks down, often came into the store. He never seemed rushed, always wore a quiet smile, and often left a generous tip. One evening, Jordan asked him, "How come you never look stressed about money?" Davis chuckled. "Because I don't trade time for money. My money works harder than I do." Those words hit Jordan like thunder. Mr. Davis began visiting more frequently. Jordan would ask him questions, sometimes out of curiosity, sometimes out of frustration. "Why do my parents work so hard and still struggle?" Jordan asked. "Because they were taught to survive, not to grow," Davis said. "School teaches people how to follow. Wealth comes from learning how to think." Jordan was skeptical, but intrigued. "What should I learn first?" "How to look at money like a tool, not a goal." Davis handed him a worn-out book, The Richest Man in Babylon. That weekend, Jordan read it cover to cover. Using savings from his after-school job, Jordan bought 10 used bicycles at a garage sale. He fixed them up and listed them online. By the end of the month, he had doubled his money. "I didn't know I could do that," he said, eyes wide. "That's the first step," Davis said. "Proving to yourself that you can build, not just earn." Jordan kept going. He flipped electronics, started an eBay account, even began tutoring younger students in math. He wasn't rich, but he was learning. At 20, Jordan invested all his savings into a small food truck with a friend. They called it Fusion Fire. It did well the first few months. Then disaster hit. A fire destroyed their equipment. Insurance covered some, but not all. Jordan was devastated. "I failed," he told Davis. "No," Davis said. "You learned. Now build something smarter." It took Jordan 6 months to recover mentally and financially. But when he came back, he did so with precision. Jordan studied business automation. He learned how to create systems, delegate tasks, and track financial flows. He started an online store selling home gym equipment, and this time, he hired a virtual assistant, partnered with reliable suppliers, and documented every process. In the first year, the business crossed 6 figures. Davis grinned. "Now you're thinking like a builder." At 25, Jordan created The Leap, a mentorship program to help others escape the cycle of financial stress. He spoke at schools, shared free resources, and launched a podcast interviewing everyday entrepreneurs. He didn't preach hustle. He preached strategy. He also began writing his own blog and ebook guides on how to start small businesses, sharing the same steps he followed. His content began to reach thousands. Jordan paid off his parents' debts. He modernized the family store, turning it into a community cafe with co-working space. It became a hub for local students and dreamers. His parents didn't fully understand how he did it, but they were proud. "You've changed our name," his father said. "People see us differently now." "No," Jordan smiled. "I just saw us differently first." He began hosting monthly workshops at the cafe, where people learned budgeting, marketing, and digital business basics. Jordan knew money sitting in a bank wouldn't grow. He started investing first in index funds, then rental properties, then startups. Some succeeded. Some failed. But every investment taught him more. He hired a financial advisor and studied the stock market. He learned how to read balance sheets and value companies. Soon, he launched his own investment club, pooling capital from friends and mentoring them in return. Jordan expanded his online store internationally. He partnered with warehouses in Europe and Asia to cut shipping costs and hired multilingual customer support. He also began working with overseas entrepreneurs, coaching them, investing in their ideas, and learning about international markets. He took his first trip abroad at 28. Visiting communities in Kenya and India to learn how entrepreneurs were solving local problems with limited resources. Jordan wasn't done. He built a digital academy to teach financial literacy through storytelling, animated videos, relatable characters, and real-life case studies. He collaborated with schools to integrate his material into the curriculum. More than 100,000 students enrolled in its first year. Jordan's dream had become something much bigger, a movement. Despite the growing recognition and wealth, Jordan lived simply. He still walked to the cafe. Still wore the same watch from high school. "Money's not the goal," he'd say. "It's the result of becoming valuable." And the greatest value, he believed, came from teaching others how to rise. One day, Jordan walked into a school to speak, the same one he had once attended. He found his old economics teacher in the audience. "You weren't the loudest kid," the teacher said, "but I always knew you'd make a difference." Jordan smiled. He had. The end.